For the league for the first time since 1973, although only on goal difference from West Ham. For the Arsenal captain, Kenny Sansom, it's confirmation that the career is flourishing again after a period of personal crisis. Simon Reed now reports.
Yes, these are the proudest days of Kenny Sansom's career so far. His captaincy of Arsenal has coincided with the team's best performances for a couple of years, and the club stand proudly and deservedly at the top of the First Division. And this morning he was able to relax with his family at home in Barnet, secure in the knowledge that his performance was one of the major pluses in England's victory over East Germany last night. And yet just 3 years ago, Sansom's exploits off the field seemed to be threatening his whole career, days when he spent most of his life in betting shops.
I thought it was great fun, you know. I'd like to get on a horse and it won, and I thought very pleased about it, you know, because we opened a little betting shop, me and my brother, and that went very sour. That got me into gambling straight away. And I used to bet every day. You know, I used to go in there and sit in there, and I used to enjoy it. I used to look around and see characters, and I enjoyed it. And when I backed to win, I used to come home very excited. And my mum used to, well, she couldn't believe it, and my wife couldn't believe it, really. It's ridiculous. And now I don't take so much notice about backing a winner. If I back a winner, I say, well, it's a very nice bit of spending money, but I don't gamble so much now.
But how much in those days would you be going through?
What, money? Well, I would go through maybe a couple of £100 a day sometimes, and maybe more. Whatever I had on me, I would spend. You know, I wouldn't leave the betting shop with any money, if I was losing. Obviously, if I won, I would come out with a bit. But if I had the money on me, I would spend it.
And you weren't really aware at that time that you were sort of wasting it? It's
incredible, because, I mean, if I'd have saved money when I was 18, I mean, I'd have been a very rich man now, most probably. You know, I wasted, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not going to look back and say I regretted it. You know, I enjoyed it at the time. I've done wrong, but I won't do it again, put it that way.
Was there a moment when you suddenly stopped and you thought, this is crazy, I'm going to stop it?
Well, I did. As you say, you know, when we played in the European Championships in Italy, I stopped for about 16 months, and I saved quite a bit of money, and I couldn't believe it, really. And then I came back and I got into it again, but I never went as heavy as I was. You know, I just had, you know, the £10 bets and one bet, and that's it, and I walked out, which is very good, and I can do that now.
I wonder if part of the problem is that your football seems to come so easy to you. You're a naturally talented player, and maybe if you'd had to work at it a bit harder, that would have taken some of your energies.
Yeah, I think that may have worked, you know, like people like Graham Roberts. He's had to work very hard, and I think he realises what money's all about. And I never had to work hard. It came very, very easy. I got in the team so early. It's ridiculous. And obviously I got a lot of money. And now I look at it and I think, well, it ain't so much money now. You know, you've got another, like, 6 years. And it ain't a lot of money. You know, in 6 years' time, what am I going to have? You know, I've got to look at it. And I think that's why I'm playing so, well, I think I'm playing so well now, is I'm looking, next 5 years, if I sign a contract, at the end of 5 years, what am I going to have? And that's what I've got to look at now.
Because it must have been difficult in those years when you were wasting away the money, actually going out on the park and putting your personal problems aside.
It wasn't so difficult until it got over top. You know, when I used to gamble early doors, you know, I never used to take any notice, but as soon as I started to get in a little, not debt, but I owe money to a couple of people, and I started gambling, then it got to me a little bit, and I had to remember that when I was playing. You know, there's certain times in the game where you think, flipping, I wonder what won that, you know, and I shouldn't do that. Now I don't even think about racing at all.
There are a lot of people in the press who are saying that Arsenal could be the pride of London, could even win the championship this year. Obviously, it's an incredibly early start talking about that. How good do you think the team is?
I think we've been good for a couple of years. I think we haven't worked hard enough. I think we thought because we're a good team, we're going to get away with it. But I think Charlie's had a good year, and he's going to do better. I think Paul Mariner coming in has done very well. And I think we're going to work a lot harder. I think we've got good players. We've got Viv Anderson we just signed. So it helps the balance. We've always been left-sided since I've been there. We haven't had a right-sided midfielder or a right winger for a long, long time. And now Viv's come, I think the balance is very good, and I think it shows in the way we're playing.
So a lot's happened really in the last year for you, because 12 months ago there was talk of Kenny Sansom going on the list. What made you change your mind, and are you glad you did?
Oh, I'm very pleased I did. I think I was going through, like you say, the gambling thing and all silly things like that. I weren't playing well. As soon as you're not playing well, the first thing you think of is, oh, I want to transfer. And I think that came straight into my head. And you think about it over a couple of months, you think, am I silly? You know, you don't really want to transfer. You've got to stay at Arsenal. I mean, because they're the best club. I mean, where'd you go from Arsenal?
Despite the fact that things still come easy to you,
yeah,
your ambitions are still solid?
I think I'm concentrating more. I think, you know, I know the time to have a fun and have a bit of drink and relax, but I know the time to work hard and train. I think that's what I've realised. You know, maybe last year you don't think about the game, you think, you know, what am I doing after the game? Instead of saying, well, get the game over and then we can enjoy ourselves. I think that's what I've been thinking about more.
Kenny Sansom, who certainly played his part last night in England's 1-0 win over East Germany at Wembley.